ManCavians, this is Bob from DaBob's N-Scale ManCave, and today I'm taking you on a trip via Amtrak from Omaha, Nebraska to Grand Junction, Colorado, on down to Durango, Colorado, and showing you all the scenery that's in there. It's just awesome scenery. I've never been on a train before. The experience was a little disconcerting. I wasn't sure what to expect, but all in all, it worked out pretty good. It was a kind of a lazy, kind of a slow trip. I mean, it was like 18, 19 hours to get there just to Grand Junction, and so it's a little uncomfortable, but not too uncomfortable. Depends on what you have for accommodations, and I'll kind of talk to you about that a little bit during this video. This is going to be a long video, really long, because there's so much scenery to show you that it's really hard not to just give you the experience as I experienced it. And so come on, let's go take a look and have a ride with me and James Wright as we go on this trip down to Durango, Colorado.
Well, we left Omaha at about 11:30 at night, and so everything between there and Denver is pretty much dark out and really not great for recording. But so we're pulling into Denver in a few minutes, and as you can tell, not a whole lot of people on the train, but a lot of them are sleeping, except for this guy for some reason. He's I think he's just playing a video game. Not sure why, but as you can tell, it's pretty quiet on the train right now. A lot of people are still kind of waking up after sleeping in their chairs. And there's really not a whole lot. Hey, except for some tank train farm. Yep, little tank cars. And you got some coal trains as well. And you expect to see that. And some graffiti on some of these cars coming into town. And maybe even some bridges. I just love graffiti for some reason. The good stuff. And this I thought was pretty interesting. They're loading up some sand or some sort of chemical or material. Maybe something to do with maybe cement. I'm not exactly sure what this is, but maybe some of you out there may know what they're doing. Filling up something in there. And interesting things. A lot of rolling stock over here. Hey, look, we got a guy who actually works for a living out here.
Ladies and gentlemen, we gotta slow down for some freight traffic that's in front of us. We just did start moving again, so it's clearing up. Looking about 8:30 into Denver this morning. Once again, 8:30 into Denver this morning. We do apologize for the delay. We'll make a further announcement when we get closer to Denver.
Thanks, Mr. Radio Announcer Guy. And as we come in, we got some refinery right along the tracks on both sides. Here's some good piping. And we got, a little small hump yard, but it's more of a push yard. It's a very small hill. But you gotta do what you gotta do as long as it works. Just kind of push them along, and they divide them up and classify them in the yard. Got some nice BNSF locomotives here, SD40-2s. Looks like a brand new paint job right there. And we're coming into Denver and backing into the stub yard here at the train station. And we're about ready to park. And you can see it's about 8:30 in the morning, local time.
Well, I'm out here in Denver, Colorado at the Union Station, riding the Amtrak. I'm going to give you kind of a look right here. Union Station right there. Got about a 20 to 30 minute break to get off the train and stretch our legs, get a fresh air break, get our land legs back, because riding the train is a little rocky. So you got to get used to the hard ground again. So nice train. My seat padding that I'm sitting in is pretty thin, and so yeah, it's not very comfortable to sleep in out there in coach. So On to the next stop, going to Grand Junction.
As you can see, there was a James Wright sighting right behind me there. Always being a fool sometimes. And as you can see, we're coming out of Denver, and this is a load of coal cars that are just stuck up there on the tracks. And they left them there because they prevent the wind from blowing the train over, ironically, due to train crashes. And you got some nice houses up there on the bluffs overlooking this, and we're getting ready to start climbing into the Rocky Mountains. This is the first leg, and start winding up the hill. And right now there's a siding just on the left-hand side of us where you can pass other cars. And here's those coal cars. They have actual plants and trees growing out of them. They've been there for so long that they're just there to be a natural windbreak, sort of like building a reef out there in the ocean.
Anyway, 28 tunnels as we make our way up through the tunnel district. When we get up after tunnel number 1, we exit out of tunnel number 1 in a few minutes. We'll be at an area called Plainview. They claim that you can see on a clear day about 1/4 of the state of Colorado out to the eastern plains from Plainview. And again, obviously today that's not going to be the case with all the haze and smoke in the air, but believe me, on a clear day, yes, you can see quite a bit up there from Plainview. I mean, we can even see all the way up towards north of Boulder, Colorado. You can see part of Boulder pretty clear as well, part of CU University. And but today we'll see what it looks like. Looks like it's going to be kind of hazy. I don't know what kind of views we're going to have off to the right here along the front range here.
Okay, I'm going to try and give you a play-by-play here as we go through here. We're in Coal Creek Canyon, and we're coming up to one of the first tunnels. And as you can see, this is off to the northwest, or actually northeast, and tunnel number 1. It's going to be a short tunnel. There's 28 tunnels. Actually, that was the second tunnel. I'm sorry. Beautiful rock scenes here. Come around this bend and you got a pretty view right off to the side. And we're coming into another tunnel. And come out of this tunnel and make another sharp left to go into another tunnel. Beautiful view up here. Gesundheit. Here's that one. Boy, she keeps sneezing. Another tunnel. This one's going to be a little longer. And so, we should be coming out of this. And there it is. Now a hard right into another tunnel. Man, it's just tunnel after tunnel, back to back, as we're climbing this 2.5% grade up this mountain. Good thing we got 2 locomotives in front. We're going to come out of this tunnel and head left a little bit. We are traveling mostly north. And as you can see, we've grown a lot of elevation, as we go through here. And just awesome views from here. I love the rocks, love the trees. It's just amazing. And we have another short kind of tunnel here. There's a lot of red rock right in this area. Pretty steep cliffs off the edge. And I believe we're going to take another hard left turn right into another tunnel. Here it comes. So now we're going to be heading west, or a little bit southwest, once we come out of here. And here we come. It's amazing when you come through a tunnel, all of a sudden the view completely changes. You didn't realize, like, hey, wait, I was just looking at something and now it's completely different when you come out of that tunnel. A lot of red rock over in this area as well. Can't really see a whole lot of it from here, but hey, got homes way down there. It's an amazing view to have if you live out in this area. Real nice mountain view. You should be heading in another tunnel. Yep. And this one's going to be a long one. You can kind of see how dark it is in there. The train is all kind of lit up with, regular lighting, not too bright. I put some night vision on just to see what it looks like. Can't see the walls, but oh well. Oh, and we're out of the tunnel, and we're going to head into another couple tunnels right away. And here we go. This one should be kind of short. And then we just have a lot of pine trees. These pine trees are awesome. They look so real. Wait, I'm not looking at a model. It looks like a model. Now we got another short tunnel. Still heading a little west. Going to hang a little right here. You can see the train going into the tunnel. It's always neat. The view keeps changing. Keeps getting better and better though. Some of these tunnels were made in the 40s. There was one tunnel that I had seen that was 1928, and so it's pretty nice. And we hit another tunnel. They say there's 28 tunnels before you get to the Moffat Tunnel. And I believe there's like 42 total tunnels all the way between Denver and Grand Junction. And we head into another tunnel. Let's see what kind of view we get when we come out of this one. Ooh, that looks great. See that? There's the track we're going to be going on right over there. You can see that. And we'll just keep climbing. Nice pile of wood. And another tunnel. Now we're going to be hanging a right turn in this tunnel because we've got to get to the other side of that ridge. We'll be heading slightly north as we go out of this tunnel. And here we are, starting to climb this hill again. Kind of go between these two rocks and just cut out this hill instead of build a tunnel. Just get rid of this hill. It's the best way to do it. Got some satellite communication devices out here for the railroads. And we have a nice long left turn here. Awesome scenery. Almost a tunnel, but it wasn't. these jagged rocks. All these beautiful trees. I'm getting so many ideas from my model railroad. It's amazing how many things you see out here and you're going, is this prototypical? And it is. Now I just went into another long tunnel, and if you're wondering, we're driving underneath a road called Chute Road, and that kind of weaves all around the top of this mountain above us. And so we should be coming out of this tunnel here shortly. There's not a whole lot to do in the dark, except talk. And here we come out of that tunnel. You can see all the rocks right alongside the tunnel as you come out. And that scene looks really, really pretty. Sometimes I just wish the trees would get out of the way though. Oh, wait, another tunnel? This one should be short. You can see the tunnel coming out up ahead through the light in the compartment. And so we got some long stretch of road here before we get to another tunnel. And as we're going along Chute Road, which is going to be on the left side of us, and it's not the prettiest side of this train right now. This side is the prettiest side of the train. Everything to the north is the prettiest side. And they have some houses still out here. You know, you get out in these areas and you just go, wow, I gotta build a house here. You wonder how people get these houses out here. It's really, really nice. I can see why people want to move out here. So, hey, we got some more houses, yeah, right out here. They live right off Chute Road. And so we're coming up along a siding. And you guys can see the sidings right there. Got another couple sidings here.
If you look off to the right, folks, in just a couple moments, you're going to see one of the largest dams on the eastern front of the Colorado Rocky Mountain Range, called Gross Dam. Gross Dam and Gross Reservoir. We're over here at Crescent, Colorado. They claimed that at one time about 40% of the municipal drinking water supply for the city of Denver came from up here at Gross Reservoir. I'm not sure what it is presently, but there have been serious talks about raising the dam, making the dam higher up, so expand the capacity of that reservoir. That's obviously due to the increase in population in the city of Denver. Then after we go past the dam here off to the right, you'll see the backside of the reservoir in a few minutes, just to see how big it is. And then we'll head over to South Boulder Canyon and follow the South Boulder Creek, all the way up until we get up towards the Moffat Tunnel.
That's a beautiful dam. It's a big reservoir as well. And now we're kind of heading into around this corner and into Sawmill Gulch, which is on the opposite side of this train. And it's going to be really a nice place here. And it looks like someone built a house up here on top of this hill. Yeah, they sure did. And we're about to go into Tunnel 19, and Tunnel 19 Road is right above that. And come around this rock formation here, and you'll be able to see the train going right in the tunnel. Yep, Tunnel 19, here we come. It's carved right out of the rock. There's no tunnel liner in this. And it's kind of a long tunnel. Takes a few seconds to get through here. And just looking down the corridor here, you can see the light coming in. There we are, out of the tunnel. And look, the view changed again. We're about to head into another tunnel. I believe this is number 20. Should be a short tunnel. All in all, this is probably the prettiest ride along the California Zephyrs route all the way to California. In fact, it's probably one of the prettiest rides in all of Amtrak. But I've only been on this one, so I can't really tell you. Now we're going under Advent Gulch and going through another tunnel right there. Should be coming out. And going immediately into another tunnel. And it's a real short one because you can see the light at the other end. Hear those wheels squeal as it goes around the corner. And here we go, on the other side. Got a house right up there on top of that hill. Looks like actually kind of a barn building up there. And we're going in another tunnel right underneath that barn. And should be coming out of this tunnel here any time now. And so anytime now, you can come out of this tunnel. It would be nice. Oh, yeah, here we are. Another pretty view. Man, they just keep on coming. Get this rock out there. It's got two big bumps on it, on the ridge. Looks pretty neat. And we hit right into another tunnel. Well, maybe not. They cut a tunnel through the hill and just, made a route through it instead of making a tunnel. We will be coming to another tunnel here pretty shortly, like right soon. Oh, there's part of the reservoir on the back side of it. You can see that. That's part of the huge reservoir that we passed where it's all dammed up. And we're into another tunnel. Man, getting tired. Oh, another tunnel. We're out of that. You kind of see some more beautiful trees and rocks. Oh, those are some nice rocks right there. Man, I keep seeing all these great ideas for my mountains. if I had the space for a mountain like this, I'd probably model this whole route through the Moffat Tunnel and everything. It would take up a long space to do an N scale, but you know, you can shorten it up. Put some aspects of the route in your layout. And another tunnel. And we're going west. And we're going to come out of here, turn a little bit to the right, and then we're going to bump back around this hill and go back to the left. It's a big old zigzag through the mountains here. If you take a look at Google Maps and follow the route, like I am while I'm narrating this, it is unreal what is there, and you don't really see it because you can't really see down there. You're not quite high enough. But there's a nice creek down there at the bottom of this area. You just can't really see it very well. But it's cutting through this area. Really nice. And it's called, I forgot what the name of it is. Something Creek. And we should be going into a tunnel again here shortly. Right now, in fact. It's a short tunnel. And there you can see the creek down there. Awesome view. This is picturesque. Very picturesque. Nice rock face. This kind of looks sort of like my mountain that I'm trying to make there with those sporadic pine trees all over it. And a lot of rock all over. Just take a look at all this. Oh, wow, we got even more rocks over here. More big mountain hills and peaks. And telephone poles and wires getting in the way of my view. I have a feeling this is going to happen a lot. And here we go, another tunnel. We're taking actually a 90-degree turn in here to get around the South Boulder Creek, which is down to our right. And there's the creek down there. We're not too far up away from that creek. Kind of getting a little bit to the same level now. It used to be way down there. So you have a lot of beautiful views here. Let's just take this in. Ooh, yeah, this stream fills up the reservoir down there. Eventually it gets all the way down there, and that's how it fills up. We're about to head into another tunnel. Imagine that. We're passing Bowling Gulch. And go through this little tunnel, make a hard left, crossing the creek right below us right now. There it is. Make a hard left turn. On the other side of this train is some rapids, which I'm not really seeing right now, of course. And there's also some roads over on the other side to get access to the homes and everything. And we're going to be coming up next to a siding. And so, small little town, real small siding town. And we'll be going across a road here shortly. There we are. Oh, the poor green truck here has to wait. Darn. Looks like a little maintenance siding here. And the Coal Creek Canyon Road is going up that hill back there. And there's a bunch of homes up on the bluff up there. And nice little community. People live in this area. The creek is on the other side of us, on the left side. And when we get past this area here, we'll cross the creek again, and it'll be on our side of the train. South Boulder Creek. We'll just take a look at this. Oh, there's the creek. We're about to turn a left turn. And go around this hill, start heading west again. Oh man, the trees are in my way of some beautiful pine trees and this creek. You know, if I wanted to hide and live financially independent, I'd probably live out here in Colorado or Alaska. I'd probably go to Alaska. But this would be a good second choice. Definitely here. And we're coming out of that siding. And we're back on single track again.
That schoolhouse was the original schoolhouse here in Toland back, again, from the early 1900s. Although the interesting part of that is it was only used for one winter. When they tried to take classes in there, some children tried to attend school in that particular schoolhouse. It was just too cold, they found out. Mainly due to the fact that the location it was built wasn't very ideal. Winds would sweep down through the valley here, off these mountains that surround Toland. And back then, obviously, we're talking early 1900s, there wasn't much insulation, or insulation at all. So they only used it for one season, and they ended up, that was the end of that, and it's been sitting there ever since. They had to build another schoolhouse off to the left side of the train, which that one you probably won't be able to see. It's very hard to see during this time of year because of the trees covering it. It's white with red trim around the eaves and around the windows. That actually became the permanent schoolhouse in Toland. Both structures, although, have been preserved by the community as historic structures. The mountain you see off to the right towards the front of the train, that large mountain way up front, that's James Peak. That's where we'll be traveling under by way of Moffat Tunnel in about 5 minutes from now. The two mountains you see off to the right, looking straight out to the right there, there appears to be a road going up the side of those mountains. And that's actually the old railroad right-of-way known as Rollins Pass. Looks like a dirt road nowadays, which that's exactly what it is. Rollins Pass used to be the way trains used to get up and over the Continental Divide prior to the tunnel being completed and built. They used to gain elevation on a switchback operation, kind of a Jacob's ladder track configuration, and go as high as a little over 11,000 feet. It would take anywhere from 4 to 5 hours on a good day to get over the pass. It could take several days if there was blizzard or snow conditions. Now folks, coming up to Moffat Tunnel, like I said, just on about almost 5 minutes, just under 5 minutes we'll be there.
As an Amtrak policy, we need to keep our end doors closed between the passenger cars on the upper level. No walking from car to car while we're in the Moffat due to the amount of diesel exhaust fumes that our engines build up in the tunnel. And there's a lot of residual coal dust inside Moffat from all the trains, all the coal trains going in and out of Moffat all these years. So we need to keep those end doors closed, no walking through the train. You got about literally 3 minutes to get to where you got to go, and at that point, we can't walk through the train, no opening the end doors between the cars on the upper level till we get out of the tunnel. It's a 10-minute ride through the Moffat. It is tunnel number 29, 6.2 miles long, and it will also be our highest elevation at 9,239 feet. Rollins Pass nowadays is open to the general public for recreational use. If you want to drive that road with a four-wheel drive vehicle, all-terrain vehicle, or dirt bikes, it's open to the general public. Moffat Tunnel was built from 1923 to 1927. The first train traveled through the Moffat in February of 1928. Two crews worked on the tunnel, one from the east and the west side of it. When they met near the apex at the center of the tunnel, they were only off by 3 inches, which, when you think about it, that was pretty amazing for back in the early 1900s with the very little or no technology that they had.
Thank you, Mr. Amtrak guy, for that play-by-play information about the Moffat Tunnel and everything in the area leading up to going into this fine architectural masterpiece that they did a long time ago. So as we're coming in here, there's a lot of trees, of course, and scenery and all that stuff. And hey, this video is sponsored in part by Ricola. Take a cough drop, please. You're interrupting my speech. Anyway, as you can see, beautiful mountains and scenery. Hey, we got something going on here. We got a Y, it looks like, for these maintenance of way vehicles. Track and tie replacers and maybe even some ballast spreaders. Let's see what we got up here. Yeah, we have some old ties and looks like some new ties maybe. Getting ready to replace them if they need to. And some gondolas. Looks like some ballast in that one, and these other ones seem to be a little empty. Some maintenance vehicle buildings and so forth, you know, for the winter and the maintenance crews that are out here. So as we're about to go in the Moffat Tunnel, we're going to just let you go, and I'm not going to take you for the full 10 minutes. And here we are on the west side of Moffat Tunnel. Just came out of it, and it's probably just came out about 15 seconds ago. And coming along Winter Park. On the other side of the train here is a big ski resort. I'm not on that side of the train to see it, but you know, here we are. As we came out of the Moffat Tunnel and all that area, we're going to another area of rocks. Lots and lots of rocks. As you can see, they got to put the barriers up here to keep falling rocks from falling onto the tracks, and also signaling to the railroad that rocks have fallen and broken through or fallen up against these sensor wires. And, you know, sometimes you just gotta go do what you gotta do. Now we're continuing on along this route and should be somewhere close to Granby, or maybe even into Fraser, maybe a little bit past it, I'm not exactly sure. But it is a beautiful, beautiful area to go through. I love all these really sharp rocks. You try to figure out how you're going to make that in foam or just plaster castings or however you want to make your rocks. You can see how difficult it can be to make something so real because there's so much detail to model after. I mean, these rocks are right close to the train. You know, these hills, you're right up there. If you stuck your hand out the window, you probably smack some of this stuff. We're that close. More and more things to see on the way to Grand Junction. And we're coming around that turn there. Got the Stream River and I believe one of those highways right next to us. I don't think that's I-70. And we had to stop and wait for the eastbound California Zephyr to pass us. We'll be traveling this on the way home. Let's watch as it comes by. These signals change to green, and we're ready to go.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mike in the snack bar. Ladies and gentlemen, our snack bar has reopened and is now serving again. The snack bar is located center of the train in the Sightseer Lounge on the lower level. The snack bar serves a variety of sandwiches, snacks, and beverages. I do have a fresh pot of coffee and brewing. I have ice-cold beer, wine, cocktails, a variety of sodas, sandwiches, chips, candies, and pastries. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, our snack bar is open and serving. Thank you.
No, thank you, Mike. But I'm going to have to decline on all those carbs at this time. I'm trying to cut back. But I really appreciate all the service that you are doing for the other patrons of this train. And I know they all appreciate it too. But I would rather watch this signal change.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so here we go, back on the move. Apologize for that delay there, but unfortunately that's one of the areas we have to meet. It's all single track up here in the mountains, single mainline track with controlled sidings every so many miles, and they're pretty far apart. So the dispatchers do the best they can when it comes to making meets with trains up here. So Dell here is one of the areas. One of the more popular areas for the two Amtrak trains, the way it's scheduled for them to meet. So today we had to wait for the eastbound. Sometimes it's the other way around, but either way, we're back on the move. That's going to set us back a little bit getting into Glenwood. We're probably looking more of a 3:35 arrival now for Glenwood. We're still about an hour and 15 minutes out of Glenwood Springs. The next area we're going to travel through in about 15 minutes from now is Red Canyon. You'll know you're at Red Canyon just by looking at the color of the rocks on the canyon walls. It'll be that deeper red iron ore colored rock with the green evergreen trees. It actually is a very colorful canyon. We only spend about maybe 10 or 15 minutes inside Red Canyon, but it's a very colorful canyon, to say the least. It was actually so colorful that back in the day when the settlers were traveling through that area, that was one particular location that gave them the inspiration to name the state Colorado, meaning the color of red. So that was quite interesting. Also, when it does rain heavy in Red Canyon, sometimes we get quite a bit of runoff that'll run down into the Colorado River, and it'll actually turn the river that same iron ore color.
And we're coming into what's known as Red Canyon. We're leading up to Red Canyon right now, and you can see the strata lines as the ground has been moved, raised up. You get all these different layers of sediment over the long period of time the Earth has been here, and just eroded away. You can see all that has gone and eroded down and down. And we got a road right there at the bottom there on the other side. And that's going along the river, of course. As you can see, the red is starting to come up here on the left side of the screen. What's really interesting is that the red clay, or the red iron ore, is right at this level, and everything else above that has just been packed onto it. And you can definitely see the different kinds of rock in this area. And if they were ever to mine this area, they'd be mining for that iron ore. And so they'd have to strip off all that top layer and get whatever they can out of that just to get down to this iron ore. And it would just basically ruin the whole canyon if they had to do so. And yes, technical difficulties. I forgot to actually record this in video, so I'm going to show you pictures that I chose to take instead. I'm not sure why I did that. I figured maybe I'll take a video on the way back because the light was changing so much. But as you can see, these hills are just awesomely red, and it goes for a little few minutes as we travel through this area of Colorado. Really love all these different layers of the mountain. And this is the same hill, but it's getting a little bit different angle as we go around the edge of it. Really, really like this. I wish I'd put more of it on video. Really nice. Lots of caves and stuff like that in the area and so forth. And there's a faraway shot as we leave the canyon.
I-70 was all reconstructed back in the late 1980s and completed in the early 1990s as a major highway through Glenwood Canyon. And when it was reconstructed, there was a lot of folks concerned about the environmental impact it might have on Glenwood Canyon at the time. They were concerned that it would ruin the beautification of Glenwood Canyon by putting a major highway through here, because before it was built as you see it today, it was only a 2-lane road through Glenwood Canyon, if you can believe that. So it was all reconstructed and built into a 2-tier highway to reduce the amount of space it would take up in the canyon here, so no beautification would be ruined on the canyon walls. It was considered one of the most expensive interstate projects per mile at time of completion in the early 1990s. It was also the last bit of the interstate system in the United States that needed to be fully completed as a major highway. And it ran primarily along the North Canyon wall and on the north side of the Colorado River and the railroad tracks. You saw back there, we went through that area back there where the highway crossed over us, and back there at Shoshone, that was the first time it was relocated over to the South Canyon wall, and they built a tunnel through the South Canyon wall to put the highway through. Again, Glenwood Springs will be coming up next. You folks leaving us in Glenwood Springs, check around your accommodations, make sure you do have your personal belongings with you. Prepare to detrain in about just under 15 minutes from now on the lower portion of your coach or sleeping car. Watch your step when exiting the train, folks. It's a long step down onto the low-level platform there. Also, folks, if you have any checked baggage to claim, checked baggage you brought over to the station for you, it will take about 10 minutes after the arrival of the train to receive your checked baggage at the entrance to the station building. When you hear the all aboard call, the engineer blows the horn twice. It's time to reboard immediately.
Well, as we end our first part of this video, you can see that the Colorado River is now very brown from all the runoff from the rains they've had. And you get a lot of kayakers and rafters out here all the time. And it looks really brown out there, that's for sure. Stay tuned for part 2.
Don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Check out these videos over here. Also click on the links down below to follow me on social media. And leave a comment. Tell me what you liked. And as always, ManCavians, happy model railroading and stay off those tracks. Bye.